Hello, GM1 here. We're going to go ahead and do the reassembly of the M240 after the detail disassembly. So this will be the reassembly and then a function check, but I already made a video on the function check, so you can just watch that. I'll just reassemble it. So first thing we're going to do is get the inspection plate back in, because that's like the easiest thing to forget. You want to have the inspection plate kind of slide down in the receiver like this. Make sure, oops, a little slippery on this table. Make sure when you put it in, you want to have it go in like this, so that the detent or the leaf spring's kind of pointed downwards. If you have it pointed upwards, it's not going to be able to catch on anything in the receiver. So have it pointed downwards, just like that. Just kind of drop it in there, let it go. Should slide along the bottom. Sometimes it'll miss and not catch, so you gotta get it back up, hold it in place, and ideally you're gonna make it go in like that, and you'll see it on the bottom. So if it's in like this, you're doing pretty good so far. It's not moving around, it's in its slot. I'm gonna put this little catch right here, have it down, and there's a little spring in there too. So you want to make sure that's down as well. And get the punch or tool, help cushion the inspection plate. So you're going to have the inspection plate go in, and you'll see it engage the spring right here. Once it's in, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and get it in. There you go, pushing it in. Once you hear that twang from the leaf spring, that means it's all the way forward. And to make sure I got it in right, check right here, make sure this part is springy. So if that part is springy, then you got it together correctly. I'll go ahead and close the bipod legs and have them stay out of my way. Next, you're going to need a feed tray and a top cover. So feed tray goes in just like that. Top cover, got the retaining pin. Top cover, you want to make sure that you close the top cover when you do this, because it'll be a lot easier. And it has the detent in here that keeps spring tension on it, so you want to make sure it's closed. So you line it up as best you can, is closed as much as you can, and you want to smack down and forward too. Just like that, so the top cover is closed. You're going to get your retaining pin, and you're going to put the retaining pin in for the top cover. You can go left or right, doesn't really matter. The retaining pin goes there, and I'll use the buttstock just to tap it in gently. There we go. So now the top cover is back in place. Next, we're going to go ahead and put together the bolt and op rod assembly. So you get your fixed firing pin, and then it's going to go into the bolt right into that hole right there, just like that. So you can have your locking levers up. I just showed you that so you know exactly where the firing pin is going to be going when you slide it in. So just like that. Locking lever link right here. And then the retaining pin right there for the locking lever link. There we go. So bolt and op rod assembly is back together. So I'll go ahead and put that back inside the receiver. So when you're putting in the bolt and op rod assembly, make sure you have the locking levers up. If the locking levers are down like this and you try and put it in, it's not going to go. So you just hold it like this and pretty much just drop it in. Go right here. So it'll go in just like this. And you like grab the oil and let it drop in. Let me pull it back out real quick, because I'm going to do the driving spring rod next. Driving spring rod is going to go in the back of the op rod, just right there. So, drop that in. Driving spring rod goes in there. And get the driving spring rod in place. You have it in the middle, push in and down, and it'll catch. Get it to catch. There we go. So this is what it'll look like when it's caught inside the right spot on the receiver. I don't know if you can see that, but so just like that. Next, we'll do the gas regulator, gas collar into the gas port. So you got this little land right here, another little land on the gas regulator right there. You want to make sure those match up. And the way you know you got it in right is it won't twist around when you're there. Get your gas collar, hold like this. The gas collar will engage correctly when it's right here. You'll feel it drop in and it won't wiggle around anymore. So the way I do it, pushing this way with my left hand, pushing that way to overcome the spring tension, and righty-tighty. So pushing in together, and I twist right, and it engages and locks in the gas regulator into the gas port. So now it won't move and nothing will fall apart. So the barrel's back together. I'll go ahead and go with the trigger housing. So trigger housing, get this retaining pin out. So trigger housing, there's this little notch here. It's kind of like an AK-47 magazine. You put it in the receiver like that and rock it up, and that'll hold it in place for the front part. And then you got your retaining pin right here to retain the back. So again, that little ledge right there, you can hook it into the receiver, and then get your retaining pin and kind of roll it in, because you got that spring to overcome. Roll it into the rear there. And again, it doesn't really matter if you go in from the left or you go in from the right, whatever works. Next, you got your buttstock. Buttstock's going to go in, you can't go in like this. You got to get the hydraulic buffer in first a little bit, and then you slide it down. You can't put it in upside down either, it won't work. Just remember that the buttstock release latch is toward the bottom. So just like that, and then down. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and put the barrel back on. I've shown you before, but I'll do it again for the sake of putting everything back together. Make sure everything's lined up. Make sure your locking lugs are engaged with your carrying handle release latch. If they're not engaged, get it to go where it's not engaged, like this. So you see everything's all kind of wonky. They're not moving together. You want to make sure they're moving together. So get the locking lugs twisted so it engages into the carrying handle release latch, and then everything moves together. So everything lined up and straight. Put it in, and then slowly put the charging handle down. You can hear a faint click. That one doesn't count, and you'll hear the loud ones, which are real ones. So faint, there's that real one, and you hear that faint one. So 1, 2, 3, 3, and then I give it a little tap just to be sure, and gave me one more click, 4. And there you go. And after you do this, you will perform a function check to make sure you put it back together. But I already have that in another video. So that was the full reassembly from detailed disassembly for the M240. And then perform your function check, which is in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.